Hey guys, it's Mandy with another service dog type video, and I just really wanted to sit down and say what life is like with a service dog in training. As many of you know, Lady is still pretty much a puppy, and I just wanted, and so she's not, I don't consider her a full service dog yet, just because there are some things that we need to work on, like going under tables and stuff like that, and she does an army crawl, which is very fun when you're trying to get her to stay, but she's gotten a lot better in the last 2 weeks, so I'm very positive that in another week she will be done army crawling. I just took her to the bank and she did fabulous, no army crawling, very limited sniffing and everything, so, and I'm hopefully getting a new vest for her soon, so I'm super excited so we can get out of this smaller vest, which is annoying to put on because she's almost too big for it. But, I really just wanted, because you guys have seen my videos, you've seen her working, but I really just wanted to say what it's like, in a formal setting, what it's like to have a service dog in training, like what life is like. Just because, we hear all the good things about service dogs, oh, they do this task, they do that task, and they've improved my life so much, which is true. I'm not saying that it's not true, but I'm just saying that, we often forget that service dogs have bad days and stuff like that, so I just really wanted to give an insider's view on what it's like to have a service dog in training. So, okay, here we go. So, life with a service dog in training can be exhausting. You have to, with the Lady especially, since she's still pretty much a puppy, she's only 9 months old, she still gets into things she's not supposed to. Like, if I haven't walked her that day, she will find a pencil or something that she's not supposed to be chewing and run around the house with it. And I have to tell her to leave it, and then I have to go hurry and pick it up before she decides that it's still fun to play with even after the leave it command. She has a very good leave it command. I don't know if I've ever shown that, but she's alright. It's awesome. But when you're out in stores with her, you have to have some focus on her because she's still in training, she's still learning what to do. And so I make as many trips to Walmart in a week as possible so she can learn what she's supposed to do when I'm shopping, and so far that's been very beneficial to us, all the time and training I put into her, and stuff. And that can also be exhausting because it's just you really especially if you're owner training, which I consider myself an owner trainer, because even though I did take her to tie the dog eye, and they task trained her and they gave her a higher level of obedience, a lot of it still kind of left up to me to upkeep her training that they gave her, and to get her out into the community and get her socialized still. So I still consider it owner training, even though for 2 months she was gone and she learned how to be a service dog over in Sandy, Utah. So yeah, just clear the air around that. But I consider it a successful day at Walmart when I can focus on other things and she can do what she needs to do, like be in a downstay or or blocking or ignoring the children that's running up and down the aisles. It's just, I without having my 100% focus on her, that's a successful day for me. And also the people. The people are so exhausting, because I'll have people come up to me and be like, oh, who are you training her for? What is she in training for? Because her vest says very clearly, in training, which I have a love-hate relationship with this vest because it's just so infuriating that sometimes people don't realize that PTSD can be for anyone, and that some disabilities are invisible. Like, I just recently got diagnosed with GAD, which is general anxiety disorder, which explains a lot. And I always kind of knew that I had it, but it's just infuriating that, like, I'm calm because my dog is there with me, and if I need her, she can help me. But people, like are always, like, trying to stop you and talk to you, and they're always looking at you, and they're always looking at your dog. And you have to make sure your dog's in 100%, like, being obedient, because, people are looking at you, and you have to be an ambassador for the service dog community, which is the only part that sucks about being part of this community, is that you have to be an ambassador, because, like, so many people are so, can't think of the word right now, but they don't have the knowledge they need for what a service dog does and what it's supposed to be doing. So you have to be an ambassador. You have to show, hey, this is a service dog, this is what it does, this is how it's supposed to act, and it's like she can't lunge, she can't sit without like being commanded to, stuff like that. And so that part's exhausting, and I think people often underestimate, when they're thinking about a service dog, they underestimate the exhausting part of it. And, like, don't get me wrong, the best thing I've ever done is get a service dog. It's because before a service dog, I was not leaving my house. I was not leaving my house without Josh, and even when I left the house with Josh, I was still having massive anxiety attacks at Walmart, and I didn't want to order anything from McDonald's through the drive-thru. Even from the safety of my own car, I didn't want to order anything, but now with Lady, I can. So it's just like, which is a happy side effect, that I can go get junk food and feel safe with it. So it's exhausting, but it's awesome. So if you're considering a service dog, just remember that, like, you're always in training, you're always perfecting something. Because if you don't always constantly work your dog's gonna lose it. Like, I have to make sure that she blocks, and all the time. I have to make sure she laps from different positions. And when I say lap, it's deep pressure therapy. So it's just, yeah, like from a sitting position, from her being in front of me while we're just standing around. I don't do it while we're playing, because then she'll learn that it's just a game, and she can be goofy about it. I want her to know that there's some level of seriousness to it. But that's kind of besides the point. But my next point is that it is wonderful. It's wonderful being independent and being able to go out to stores and knowing that you have a companion beside you who knows what to do, to help you. And she's later in her training, so she knows what to do. And Wyoming is very awesome and says that service dogs in training have the same rights as service dogs, which is awesome. Go Wyoming. And I really appreciate the fact that she's later in her training, because before she was task trained, I wouldn't take her into Walmart, because if I had an anxiety attack, I couldn't be thinking about my dog and about training her and trying to compose myself to get out of the store. For me, that was stressful. So I would work right in front of Walmart, I'd work in front of Smith's, and I wouldn't really go in. I'd go into the entrance later in her basic obedience training. I'd go in front of the entrance and really distraction trainer. But yeah, the independence is awesome. I don't have I just went to the bank this morning and all by myself, and Lady was with me, but you know what I mean. And it was good, and she did awesome, and I'm really grateful that she is task trained, so she can help me be independent. And it's awesome when her tasks are successful. Right now, I gotta say our hardest task is blocking, because she gets, like, she doesn't realize that, well, maybe she does, but, like, she doesn't realize that sometimes I'm nervous around people she's not. Like, she's not nervous around anyone, just for the record, but, like, she doesn't, get that, when I'm nervous around people and I need her to block, that it's not okay to sit her butt on my feet and to, point outwards and, look happily at people. She needs to fully block, and that's, the hardest part. And sometimes she deep-pressure therapies when she's supposed to be blocking. When I need her to block, she gets confused between the two. And so, the other day at church, I had her block, but she lapped, and my chin got caught, on her front chin, and, on the front part of her chin, and it hurt, and I need to make a video about this, but when I say lap, she raises up on her hind legs, and she wraps her arms around my waist, and leans into me, which is awesome, because, and then she'll lick my face or something, and so pretty much is, jumping up on you, but she does it controlled. She is very polite about it, which is awesome, because I was worried about her, because she's such a big dog. Sorry, my nose is running. So, that's the wonderful part about it, though. It's, you can try again, she's very good at her tasks. Other than that, when I'm crying, she'll run over and she'll brace against my legs and let me pet her until I'm done crying. Which happens, because part of bipolar disorder too, is that you are in a depressive state, and so sometimes I'm just randomly crying, and it's not because someone hurt my feelings. It's not because I'm actually really, really sad. I'm just an emotional wreck. Sometimes, and so she'll run over and she'll help me out, and when she does that with the service dog in training, it's always a cause for celebration, because sometimes they miss a cue when they're in training, oh, I should have blocked that person because that person made me nervous, the handler nervous, they miss that because they're learning, and it's okay that they miss that, but that's why you always got to be working with them. And how I got Lady to learn how to come over to me when I was crying is I would cry, I'd call her over, I'd cry, I'd call her over and over again. And so now she does it naturally. When I cry, she comes over. When I'm nervous, she laps. At church again, I got a little bit nervous, just for no reason. It's just part of the general anxiety disorder. And she lapped and started licking my face and trying to help me. She wanted to crawl up all the way up onto the couch, in which I had to stop her because I want her to learn that she can stay on the floor and still do her job. But I got her. I got her to, and she did that all by herself, which is good. But that she picked up on that, especially in a very brand new situation, because this was the first time I've ever taken her to church. And she learned that she still needs to do her job, and she did it by herself. Because I wasn't gonna tell her lap or anything, because I wanted her to learn where her place was. Because I didn't want her to learning that. I don't know. It's kind of hard to describe. I didn't want her learning that she could just pop up out of a down whenever she feels like. But this was kind of a different situation. She was doing her job, and I have to watch that to make sure that she's not being a puppy and and trying to play with me, cause she did that in my therapy appointment. I had her lap. I gave her the actual lap command, and she helped me out, and I rewarded her for it. And then I got her back into a down, and then she popped back up out of down and she tried to play with me in the lap position, which when I'm sitting down, it's her hind legs are on the floor, and she is her forearms are sitting on my knees, she's licking my face or she's cuddling into me. But that's kind of like how we roll with that task. And I also wanted to mention that there are going to be bad days. Like, I've had a couple really bad days with Lady where I've taken her into Walmart, and you saw the one video where I was working her at Walmart, and if you haven't, go check it out. And I wasn't in the right mind for training, and it was like very hard to film, and I'm looking all over, and I'm trying to focus on her, and she is sensing something's going on. And what happened at the door was we got jumped out at, and it freaked her out, and it freaked me out, because like she nearly got stepped on, and like I don't blame her for one bit for getting a little freaked out about it, but she recovered really quickly, which is good. She balked a little bit, and then she's fine. Which we need to train for that now. We need to train for people jumping out at her, and her remaining calm. And I didn't realize we needed to train for that because I didn't realize that people do that to you. And so it's just like she's very good when people just like suddenly appear beside her, but like this was actual like a person yelling and jumping out at us. So it was quite the event, and it just, like, you don't do that to someone with PTSD, like, because that's scary. And it's like, it's scary for anyone, especially, and I hate to generalize, but like especially for women, like having people jump out at you. It's just, yeah, it's a little inconsiderate, but anyways, but for every bad day, there's going to be like 4 more good days. So that's one thing I want people to remember when they're getting a service dog, is they're going to have bad days, but they're going to have good days too. Especially as you get later and later into training, they're going to be like more focused, more on like onto their tasks, more figuring out when they need to do their tasks and when is appropriate time to not do their tasks. Like if I'm not nervous, Lady shouldn't be doing a task. Lady should be calming by my feet. And when I am nervous, Lady should be doing her task. And I say nervous and anxious interchangeably, just so you know, and stuff. So yeah, so I hope this video helps. For any of those looking into the service dog community, or for some of you who may have just gone through a very bad day with their service dog in training, or even their veteran service dog. They're still going to have bad days, but that's okay, because they're dogs, and we're people, and we're going to have bad days just like they're going to have bad days. So I hope this video helps, and if you like it, like and subscribe, and you can see more videos of mine, and I will talk to you guys later.